This video is about why you should not move to Northern Virginia. Well, people who want to move to Northern Virginia usually move here for a job, or they grew up here, they're already here. If you like safety, if you like money, if you want job security, it's the place for you, but frankly, if you want to live life to the fullest, do not move here, and here's why. Cookie cutter homes, chain restaurants, traffic everywhere, all these stoplights. Takes me 7 minutes to get to the Panera across the street. Takes me by car. It takes me 2 minutes to walk there just because of all the traffic lights. Also, there's this phenomenon that whenever you want to merge, people accelerate so they don't want to let you in. And that's kind of the overall like personality of a place. You know, when people are in their cars, then that's how people really are. It's very expensive in Northern Virginia without really much to offer. I mean, especially for families, there's nothing. We have a daughter who's 3, and when it's winter time, there's literally nothing. I mean, there's a couple like baby gyms and stuff like that you have most places, but people don't usually go out, they stay inside. It's tough to find anything to do here. It's, people say that Northern Virginia is very multicultural, and while there are many different cultures, people speak many different languages here, it seems like everybody's kind of in a box, in their own box, and then you have another box, and you have this box, and all they interact with is just hello and thank you and how are you today, and that's pretty much it. So it was hard for us to find new friends. We had some old friends, and even with them, there was just not much to talk about. It's you know when I visited New York, I would just meet some random guy in the subway from Trinidad and Tobago, and we hit it off just for like a subway ride. But this doesn't happen here, at least not to me. Um, the life of a Northern Virginian is basically you sit in your car for an hour or more, go to work, then you sit at work at your desk, at your government job. You sit in your car again in traffic on the way back. It's already dark. You come home, and then there's really not much to do, so you sit in front of the TV and rinse, repeat. The American dream. You have a big home, big car, probably, but you're working a lot, and that's pretty much it. When people talk about work, you know, in some places you ask, and so, oh, who do you want to be? Or whatever, in LA, for example, and then in DC, Northern Virginia area, it's like, oh, what do you do? Because it's just all about work. The weather is pretty, it's pretty nasty most of the time. The summer is very hot and humid, and the winter is very, very cold. So it's like December, January, February, it's below freezing most of the time, or a cold wind, so it feels like it's below freezing. And most people just don't want to go out. And if you're out, then all you see is cars driving by and no one on the streets or on a plaza or something. Things to do in Northern Virginia, you got parks, you got Great Falls, which is nice, you know, a few times and then gets old. I got some lakes that you can go to, and I know some people do like canoeing or kayaking, but it's definitely not like a large chunk of the population that does that. There is DC, you can go visit the free museums, but they get old very fast, especially if you're not into museums, which a lot of people aren't. So there's always, it's just boring and not much to offer. And The main reason why I would not recommend Northern Virginia to most people is because of the people themselves. And while we have friends here who are just very good people, they have good morals, ethics, or whatever you want to call it. There's not much about it. All they do is work. They raise their kids and talk about work, and that's pretty much it. No interesting stories, no spontaneous adventures or interesting vacations. And another thing that is definitely felt in this area is there is so much suspicion and fear in people. And it's like anywhere you go in the supermarket, people aren't very friendly. They're always like, oh, you could be an FBI agent. Or I don't want to tell you too much because the government is watching. I don't know why, honestly. Maybe it's the news. The news are always, on 24/7. Everybody's into politics. And when you're into politics, you generally get angry and riled up because of what's going on in Washington, even though it doesn't really affect you most of the time. But yeah, it's just people are suspicious and don't want to reveal much about themselves, and so you never get a conversation going with anybody. Even if you know people well, they don't want to talk about their families and their issues and their adventures. So yeah, unless you really care about safety and money, and you don't care about living a fun life, then don't come here. We're leaving. We're leaving in 10 days. We're going to Florida. So, thanks. Hope that helps.